Hello and welcome to It's Tomorrow News. I'm your host for the day, R. Sriram. It's Tomorrow News is an initiative by Nanoland Limited, an eminent research organization mainly focused on our changing climate and is primarily into deep research on climate change. Today is June 5, which is celebrated across the globe as World Environment Day. World Environment Day was first established in 1972 during the Stockholm Conference on the Human Environment, which marked the beginning of global environmental consciousness. The first celebration took place in 1973, and since then, June 5 has become a cornerstone for environmental action. Every year on June 5, people across the globe unite to celebrate World Environment Day, an initiative led by United Nations Environment Programme. In 2025, this globally significant day is hosted by the Republic of Korea with a strong focus on one of the most pressing challenges of our time, plastic pollution. From schools to governments, environmentalists to artists, millions of people will participate in activities that raise awareness and push for action to safeguard our planet. The theme for World Environment Day 2025 is Beat Plastic Pollution. The campaign aims to raise global awareness about the harmful impacts of plastic waste on ecosystems, wildlife, and human health. Plastic pollution has become a planetary crisis, with microplastics now found in the deepest oceans, remote mountain peaks, and even inside the human body. Plastic production has skyrocketed from 2 million tons in 1950 to over 430 million tons today, according to United Nations Environment Programme. A large portion of this plastic is single-use and ends up in landfills, rivers, and oceans. The 2025 campaign urges nations, industries, and individuals to reduce dependency on plastic, adopt sustainable alternatives, and promote responsible production and consumption. Now, to talk to us in detail and to give a deeper insight into the theme Beat Plastic Pollution, we have with us our distinguished guest for the day, Professor Dr. Bharat Maitreya. Welcome to the show, Dr. Maitreya.
Thank you.
Let me introduce to you Dr. Maitreya. Professor Dr. Bharat Maitreya is a distinguished professor in botany and research guide at the Department of Botany, Bioinformatics and Climate Change Impact Management, Gujarat University, Ahmedabad. Holding a BSc, MSc and MPhil in botany from Gujarat University and a PhD from Maharaja Krishna Kumar Singh Ji Bhavnagar University, he brings over 25 years of teaching and 20 years of research experience. He has guided numerous MSc, MPhil and PhD scholars in botany, horticulture, science, environment science and climate change. A prolific academic, he has published over 50 research papers, delivered 30 plus expert lectures and contributed to over 100 seminars and conferences. Dr. Maitreya also serves on various academic boards, assessment committees and research journal editorial panels across India. Once again, welcome to the show, Dr. Maitreya.
Thank you.
To begin with, could you tell us how serious the problem of plastic pollution is today and why it has become a central theme for this year's World Environmental Day?
So, generally the UNEP program, most of the session where we notice that every year, so suggestion from that part, that the theme where we have to mostly sustain our life according to that, and mostly we heard the term the pollution, because generally the hazardous these materials or maybe discharge by the most of the industrial development part.
There are various kinds of pollution.
Various kind of pollutants which are in generally in by air or maybe by water or maybe land and other places. So generally, by the growth of the population in each and every country where the census occurs, so mostly the situation which we have nowadays, that according to this population size which are not controlled and mostly the increase in size, so that's why they use products which are mainly dependent on that. So each and every part where these are the mainly by the clothes material which we have, also the building material which we have, where the food part is concerned that we have. So we are using the plastics day by day. So generally the plastics which are mostly by the synthetic, or maybe it is semi-synthetic, or be organic material which are. Generally it is a monomers which are being joined together with this polymers part.
Okay.
So we have these chemical structures of the plastics where we are using like polyethylene, polypropylene, or polyvinyl chloride, mainly generally for. The term which we are saying that plasticos, the Greek word, means to, it means in English to shape or to be molded.
Okay.
So generally these are the things. So that malleability is that which are any kind of shaped or any kind of this molding part from these polymers.
Okay.
So we can the uses of that. And the term as far as the concern with the category wise. So different kind of varieties we can be making from that plastic part.
Okay.
So where mainly the part where we are used nowadays plastic products, and generally this plastic which are most of the particularly this chemical synthetic part, we are not degraded it. So it is not a biodegradable conditions of that, or maybe in some kind of this earth in atmosphere. So generally this plastic which are not been this particularly any kind of this renewal in a process part, most of the plastic.
Okay.
So generally we have to this kind of this chemical structure of it, the nature of it, and mainly as far as the concern with the human health. So generally we are consuming all this food or maybe beverages part nowadays. So in our body also, and in the outer part of the body in atmosphere, most of the plastic parts or materials which are increased day by day, and which have a hazardous condition to us. So generally by the uses of this plastic, or maybe reduce of the plastics which we are consider for in this pollution way. So nowadays that this theme which where the mostly there the global plastic pollution ending part nowadays, and we are having like the Republic of Korea which have initiated, and then
the host.
This host for this 2025, this World Environment Day.
So it is a matter of great concern, and I think without realizing we have been consuming plastics indirectly, and it's causing so much harm to our body, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Now, in your view, what are the biggest misconceptions people have about plastic use and recycling? Because plastic is being widely used. It has benefited people across the globe, but it has its own disadvantages. So I think there are some myths which need to be clarified here.
From the ancient era to nowadays in modern, mostly the world, where they are using all this kind of that material, where as far as their utensil also there, their packaging material also there, also some kind of the parts which are used in each and every industrial process, or maybe household materials. So day by day nowadays that due to the well shaped and well molded part, so plastics which are used nowadays. But what are the main reason about it? Because when it is mostly throwing part of this plastic, or which we are not use, and which we are in the waste product, or maybe whenever it is dumping part of the plastics are there. So it causes these natural resources harmful. Also some kind of condition where we are saying that any kind of food material which are been packed into these polythene bags, and which are thrown in outer portion of that part, and some domestic animals, those who are having with this food, this polythene bag, so some digestive tract part, it is very harmful to these domestic animals, and that's why this kind of condition to them. Also, when we are using these plastic cups or maybe plastic bottles and some plastic dishes for that, so anyhow the food or maybe drinking part which we are consumed from that part, so we heard and we generally observed some kind of this health regarding problems which we have, and some kind of the plastic which have a severe problem to the human health in it. So for that plastic, mainly to some sustainable alternatives,
Right.
which we have to think for that.
Correct.
If in any kind of this plastic when we have to use, so generally it is mainly the reuse or maybe reduce for that part.
Okay. Do you think hot food when combined with plastic causes more harm than cold food?
Yes, generally whatever this plastic part, when we are having such kind of chemical compounds in it, so generally it is up to the certain control of the temperature or maybe by heating. So the chemical nature, it is decomposed or maybe denaturalized.
Okay.
So that's why some kind of the chemical compound which are been mixing with the food part which are been in, if you have some kind of hot plastic plate and when you have this hot food in it, so generally this chemical which are denaturalized and mostly which are mixed together, and by the consume of this kind of food in our body, so digestive tract, so generally the sensitive organs which are being harmful from that part.
Okay. Now, what role can individuals realistically play in beating plastic pollution, especially in urban environments where alternatives might not be easily accessible?
So generally each and every part, maybe the bigger industries or maybe as an individual in our room atmosphere, when we are using all the kind of material or maybe some kind of the utensil also, any kind of product which we are using, so there are some manufacturing from that plastic part. But generally when as an individual or maybe in a mass or maybe by the governmental or maybe some business workers or individual, we are thinking that the plastic, well, mostly first of all that we have to refuse it. If we are not in refusing it, then we have to reduce it. If it is not been a reduced part, we have to consider for the reuse it.
Okay.
Then after the using of that part, so they consider for the recycling for that part, and after that recycling portion, that we have to rethink about it, that how the any alternative form that we are making from it, because when is compulsion of the plastic, it is very harmful in coming futures, but in the alternative form, whether the products which are manufactured by the plastic, so any kind of this plant material or any biodegradable material which we are using for that, so some alternatives that we have to going for it.
Yeah, okay. So you mean to say there has to be some self-realization
Yes, yes.
in each and
it
every
is in
individual.
nature and there
it
is
has to
all
come from within.
Yes, yes. This is it.
Okay. Now, can you share examples of innovative solutions or success stories, either from India or globally, that have made a real impact in reducing plastic waste?
Yes, generally when we are using this plastic material in it, because when we are using part, it is okay, but it is the non-use part is there. So we are dumping or throwing in the other part of this all the plastic material. But generally this plastic material, it is not being degradable.
Okay.
So any kind of bacteria formation from the living organism bar, or any kind of method which we are using for it to some kind of the reducing this plastic material or maybe reconvert part is not very easy for that.
Okay.
So for that process, that we have to going for some kind of the mechanical portions by the washing or maybe some kind of the grinding or some kind of the melting portion.
Correct.
Which we have to use for this plastic.
Correct.
Also some kind of this plastic by the chemical process that we have to reduce it, because these are the polymers, so we are converted into the monomers in it. Also some kind of part where we are using this plastic, most of the research units which are going for that, so at somehow some the plastic groups where the mostly microorganism,
Okay.
those who are have some capacity to degrade it. So as far as the concern with this microorganism part, so any kind of this bacteria or maybe fungi enzymes, those who are help to some kind of this degrade the plastic material to it, but is going for this experimental base. On the other hand, that the alternative form for the sustainable arrangement, where the plastic part which are alternative by the some kind of natural products fibers, like the plant materials,
Okay.
where the some plant coconut like the jute part is there, also some banana plant where these fibers which are making from it, also this mushroom cultivation where you can go for this packaging material, the bee waxes this for the wrapping portions,
Right.
for that part. So we have to think that the consideration for the not the all time use of plastics, but some kind of alternative by the stainless steels or maybe ceramic or maybe some glass utensils, also some these bags which are manufactured from the natural fibers,
Jute.
also
Jute
the
bags are-
packaging material like this, instead of this polythene bags we are using the reuse or recycle bags from this natural plant product in it is. One of the students of mine, when I was in this MSc dissertation, it was, and she was during that time. So some kind of this particularly making some bioplastics from that part. So some sago palm or maybe starch from that part,
Okay.
and they are using this plant for that, and from that the particularly bioplastic she made, and after that she got this all this funding assistance from our GeoSec from the university, and also send many awards she have. Also interact with our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji before this 2 years.
Okay.
Then she interact with them for the manufacture unit of this bioplastic in our this Kadi industries.
Right.
So generally the workers, those who are from this plant portion or maybe any kind of this fungus enzyme activity or micro organism with the fungi activity, so they are ever try to particularly this kind of this plastic or maybe leather kind of material, so they are have this manufacture from that unit.
So you mean to say that by adopting these alternative methods, you can reduce plastic pollution
Yes.
to a great extent,
Yes,
if not completely.
definitely 100%. That we have to rethink about it, and then we have to convert it this particularly product into the some natural product which are
Okay.
less harmful for us.
Okay. Now for this, awareness has to be created, right? Now it has to start at a young age. So how can schools, colleges and community groups contribute meaningfully to plastic reduction efforts beyond just awareness campaigns? Of course, awareness campaigns are there, but then things have to be implemented practically.
Yes, nowadays, and when we are in school, and then nowadays now we are in school and colleges as far as the academic part unit too. So whole the life situation of the ourselves, that we think that each and every part where not only the celebration of this kind of environment day or any kind of day, but as life as a whole, that we have to think about it.
Okay.
That this awareness part, because self awareness is there, but in a mass awareness is also be needed.
Yeah, that's required. Yeah.
So from this in the childhood, that those who are boys or girls, those who are going to school, so at that part this every lessons. So where the syllabus integration portion, that they are using this kind of this particularly words or maybe some kind of essay like structures in it, and also the awareness program by the schools. So from the childhood to the when they are maturing stage, so they know the what are the real thing is there.
A young mind is
mind
easy
is.
to mold. Yeah.
So by the means of this syllabus part is there, also such kind of competition part, Also we have to arrange some kind of events for this awareness program also there. And also some the special days like today, the World Environment Day. So plantation part is also there. But whatever the bigger issues which are harmful to be our human health and the on earth, it is mostly the pollutants which are being
And that is of
affected.
prime importance.
So that importance that we have to give to the all these either they are students or college boys or girls, also there some individuals in the society members that we have to mainly focus, and we have to telecast this kind of the social media part to the particularly area, and whatever the authority from the government side. So government authority from our president part to honorable prime minister to all these minister officials, the ministerial these bureaucrats, also some industrialists, also the social workers, and also the great human being and this the good achievement from the society. So by the helping hand of that all, so from this our individual home to the our whole society home like us, that we have to go for it, and then awareness program and all the harmful activities which are there. So we have to reduce and rethink about it, and then the whole the awareness program, and that's why this UNEP or UN and all the governmental exercise for this particularly. And today also the our Gujarat government, where the Mahatma Mandir, that the program is going on, our honorable chief minister, those who are having the simple message for this ending of the global plastic pollution nowadays and the plantation of that, and mostly the 1,11,111 the Sindur plant today, because nowadays just the few months back that we are
that Operation
Sindur is there also, so they are planting these trees into that, and awareness of that.
So you mean to say that it has to be a blend of both micro efforts and at the macro level, right? At the micro level and at the macro level.
Yes, definitely that
Now there are many individuals who without any selfish motives, of course there are institutions, government agencies, NGOs working towards in this direction, but there are some individuals who work in this direction without any selfish motives. So I think that needs to be appreciated a lot.
Yes.
Right. Okay, now what are your thoughts on government policies and corporate responsibilities in tackling plastic pollution? Are we doing enough at a systematic level, or still a lot needs to be done?
I'm not saying that there needs to be done, but whatever the program which are going on, because whenever there's if there are concern with the some kind of this act or which are published in Gazette, or maybe government as far as the term is condition. So by the means of this act and rules and regulations by this governmental authority, so they are published in a gazette for that. Also they passes from this state legislative to the parliament of this particular nation from that part. But this is a program where this continuous effort to the for this particularly theme based plan for that. Also some legal action against those who are been particular.
So punitive action,
preventing to the punishment portion, this they are realized up to the such consideration. So many acts which are there. Pollution Act is also there. So at in a larger section, so government authority which have authorized that particularly portion in from that part. Also nowadays people's or maybe public partnership programs which are going on. Many industrialists, those who are having some kind of this financial support to them, the awareness programs where they are having or spreading the message from them part too. So they are going for it better advertise or maybe some kind of the published particularly message to the society that we are involved with it, because the impact of the some kind of the successful industrialist on the society as part is concerned. So the big play role of it. So industrial or organization or maybe industrialists or maybe those who have honored by the government, so they are always try to give the message
Right.
to reduce this pollution and any kind of pollution. Nowadays we are having this beating plastic or maybe reduce plastic or maybe ending plastic pollution. So these are the simple message.
The awareness is increasing.
Awareness
Yeah.
is increasing. Yes.
And I feel persuasion is always better than force, applying force. But
Yes,
then
definitely.
when it is required, it has to be applied.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Mostly the applied application force is also there,
Yeah.
but action is
In the
also
implementation, yeah.
action, act and action,
Yeah.
which are
Has to be
joined
done,
together.
yeah.
And
Okay. Now, lastly, if you could leave our viewers with one actionable step they can take today to fight plastic pollution, what would be that in one line?
so generally in today's the theme of the 2025 World Environment Day. So most of the society or maybe as an individual that we have to think about that refuse the plastic first thing, that
Okay.
whenever there is not been refused by that, so reduce the plastic. When it is not been reduced, then they reuse the plastic. Reuse plastic also whenever we need it, that recycle it. And after that all this process that we have to rethink about it, where we have to go for the plastic or not. So the alternative arrangement or sustainable this particularly part which have been making from it, so natural product and for the natural resources that we have to make and go for it.
Right.
So some alternative sustainable alternatives we have to rethink about it, and minimum use of the plastics, and in a particularly the atmosphere pollution which reduce or maybe some kind of this not any kind of this pollution and pollution free from the plastic our society, so which are good for the human health.
So it has to be a combined effort, right? We can't depend only on government and NGOs to bring about a solution to this. We also
Yes,
have
only
to
the
contribute
simple
a
message
point.
when we have,
Right.
then we have to as a
Right.
some kind of we are saying we have the literate world that we have to think about it, and mostly these illiterate people or maybe rural people or tribal people, those who know the particularly awareness of it, so that in urban civilization this society that we have to think about it. And we need the industrial development too, but also we need some kind of this healthy environment in this.
You need to strike a balance.
Yes, balance it.
So we come to the conclusion of this show. We are sure our viewers have a lot of takeaways from this enriching session. Thanks viewers for being with us. Dr. Maitreya, a big thanks to you too for sparing your valuable time and for providing our viewers with deep insights into the burning problem of plastic pollution and offering your thoughts and probable and highly viable solutions. So let's all pledge to work together and root out this menace called plastic pollution from every nook and corner and make this world a healthy place to inhabit. Thank you.